If you're wanting to 10x your email signups, one way that you can do this, aside from the traffic that's already flowing to your website and the offer that you're actually presenting on the signup form and the copywriting, it's very, very advantageous to use a professionally designed, very catchy looking opt-in form. Hi, it's Kyle Johnson from escapingthenorm.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use the HTML form builder in Getresponse. This form builder has thousands of very high converting, professionally built and tested niche specific forms. There's one for just about anything that you could imagine, and not to mention these are very, very catchy. They'll make your user want to actually sign up. So if you want to follow along, feel free to, and if you don't already have Getresponse, then you're in luck because there's a free 30-day trial. There's no credit card required. All you got to do is sign up by clicking the link below in the description, and that will bring you to the page where you can actually sign up for the 30-day free trial. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start building these custom forms. All right, so I'm here on the Getresponse dashboard, and you'll get to this once you log in. And so the first thing we're going to do is go to the form builder. So I'm going to click menu. I'm going to go to forms right here. And then once that's loaded, it's going to show you all the forms that you've built. I've built this. It's a test form, but I'm going to just go ahead and delete it. You can delete them by hovering over that and clicking delete. So to create a form, what you're going to want to do is click create form. And this is going to bring you to the next page, which is going to ask you what you want to do. And I'm going to be covering the list building wizard. This is by far one of the easiest ones to use. So I'm going to just click on this, and you'll be presented with this page right here. And you can see on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of different categories you can select from, a bunch of different niches, a bunch of different types of forms, and they are displayed over here. You can scroll through these, and as you can see, there's hundreds, if not thousands of these different templates. So I'm going to just come back up here, and I'm going to go and click on free course sign up. This is the template that I want to use, and I'm going to go through here and select one of them. And when you're selecting these, keep in mind that it doesn't have to say exactly what you want it to say. You can edit all the text and, images, anything on the form pretty much. So I'm going to just go ahead and select this fitness one, and you just click use template, and then it'll load. And now on the next page, you'll see the monsters loading your template. And so once that's done, you'll be brought to the main form building page. And here's the form, and all the options are going to be here on your right. Now, there are a bunch of different options. I'm not going to cover all of them. I'm going to just cover the basic ones in this video just to get you up and running with them. So to edit anything on the form, you can just hover over it and double click, and that will give you the option to change the text and the font and all kinds of other different settings. So on this one, I'm going to put get your free 15-minute workout guide. Now, as you can see, the text is a little bit too big. So what I can do is, since I'm already clicked into this text, I can come over here and I can take the size and drag it down to where it actually fits. And that looks about right, so I'll leave it like that. While you're in here, you can also change the font. There's all kinds of different fonts. You can just click through them and it'll update live like so. And I like that font. So another thing you can do is you can drag this text up, down, or to the sides any way that you want. So you just click off of it, and then you come back and you click onto it, and then you click one more time, and you can drag this. And as you can see, it gives you these position identifiers, like if it's center. And I'm going to drag it up a little bit to where it's about right there, and just unclick, and then that will position that part. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to put your name first, and then the email. So right now they're backwards. So I can just click this one, and I can drag it down here. Now, it is going to look kind of like crap right now, but I'm going to click on this top one, drag it up to where it's about right there. And then I'm going to click on this email address one and drag it up to where it's about even. And then I can click and drag this button up a little bit. And also I can click on this outer form object, and you can see there's position arrow buttons, and you can click and drag those to where they fit, however you want them to fit. And then I can just off click from that, and that's what the form will look like. I think that looks great. Now, if you want to, you can also add other things, like instead of your name, if you want to do like last name or first name, you can click and drag these over here. But since name's already there, the first name option's not going to show up. So I can click and drag this here and position it anywhere I want, but I'd have to position everything. So I'm going to just leave this off. So to delete one of these inputs, you just click on that input. You'll see a little trash can icon. Just hit that trash can icon, and that'll delete that input. And there's also other options for these inputs. Like if you have, say you had a background on this one and it was white, and for some reason you wanted this, like when you slid it up under the other one, you want it to be on the back instead of the front. That's what this is right here. This little icon right here means that it will be on the back side. Like if you want it to show up on the back side of another element, you have to make sure you click that element and make sure that it shows up on the front side. So that's what those little arrows are. Other than that, that's all the options on the input directly. Now you can also align text by clicking on it, and you can see this right here. You could left align it, center align it, or right align it. And you can also change the text color by clicking on color here and dragging this to whatever color you want. I'm gonna just leave mine on white, and then when you're done, you just hit OK, and that will save the changes for that. Now line height right here, I'll just show you what it is. So if it's lower line height, it means the rows of the text will be closer, and then the more you drag it, the further apart they will get. And there's also other options as well. Like if you wanted to, you could make it to where when they click on this text, it brings them to a certain web address, and you would just put the URL right there, but I'm not going to do that on this one. The last thing I'm going to do on this form is I'm going to just change the text of this button. So you just double click it, and then I'm going to just come all the way to the right and delete this, and I'm going to just put sign up now like that, and I'm going to click off of it. Now if you wanted to change the background color of this form, like this inside part that's highlighted right here, you just click on it, and then you come over to style, click on style, and you can change the background color. As you can see, it's somewhat transparent. That's going to be controlled by opacity. As you can see, it becomes more and more transparent or darker and darker. I like how it is by default. That looks really nice. And then, you can change the color by dragging over here, whatever color you want. But I'm going to just leave it like that and hit OK. And then if you wanted to change the background of the entire form, you can click on this outside part, and you'll see that it highlights the outer part of the form. And the style, this is the options for the actual back part of the form that you see highlighted here. So if you click background, it's going to give you a little pop-up, and right here you can select a different image if you want. Like if you wanted to change it to a different image, I'll click on this and I'll just change the image just to show you. So this is going to pop up when you click to change the image. Now these are all of the images that you have uploaded to Getresponse, and if you wanted to upload a different one, you can click add files and upload it from your computer. But I'm going to just use the free Getresponse images. Getresponse has free images. You could also use things like unsplash.com. But I'm going to just click this, and then I'll just select a different image just to show you. So whatever one you want to use, you just hover over it and click use, and that's going to automatically load it into that form, wherever you selected to change the image. And then I'm going to just hit OK. And as you can see, it changed the image of the form. Okay, and then finally, the final option that I'll show you is the form layout. So you'll just click this very back part, the very outer part of the form, and you'll see that it's highlighted. And then just hit layout, and you'll see that you can change the form width. So like if I wanted to make it skinnier, like that. Now I'd have to adjust everything inside of here to do that, but I'm gonna just leave it back to default. And then this option right here, type, this is going to be like what kind of form you want it to be. And so you can have an embedded form. That basically just means that it's going to be embedded on your website somewhere. You'll just insert it as like an element. It'll look like any other element on your website. You can also have a popover. That's basically a pop-up form. And if you select that, you'll have different options that pop up here. So the background, you know how like when a pop-up pops up, everything gets like darker or lighter, like everywhere outside of the pop-up. That's what this is. So if you wanted like a darker background like around the outside of this pop-up when it pops up on your website, select that. Or if you want like a lighter color, I think darker ones look better. And then the position, I recommend just leaving it at center, but if you want it to show up at the top or the right side or the bottom, etc., you can select one of those options. And then the effect, this is going to be your animation effect. When someone visits your website, is it going to just pop up, or is it going to slide down from the top or from the bottom, etc.? You can select these options. I'm going to just select slide down from the top like that, but I'm going to just leave this to none. And then you can also set a delay, like how long before the pop-up shows up after the visitor visits the page. So if you wanted like a 3 or 5 second delay, you could select one of those. And then you can select how often to show this pop-up to your visitors. Now there's another aspect to this form builder, and that's the mobile version. So if you want to get to the mobile version, you just click this icon right here. Now I will warn you that anytime you change something on the desktop version, it's going to generate a completely new mobile version. So before you actually go and edit the mobile version of the form, make sure that you're happy with the style of the desktop version of the form. Otherwise, you'll reset the mobile form every time that you modify the desktop form. So I think that's good on the desktop form. So I'm going to come over and click this mobile icon, and it's going to generate the mobile version of this form. And as you can see, it's a little bit messed up. this back part right here is not aligned with the actual text on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on this box right here and drag it down to where it lines up with the text, and then I'm going to make it wider so it's like the full width of the form. That's how I want it to show up. And then as far as this outer part, I'm going to click on it, and you can see these little drag things, and then I'm going to select that and drag it down to where it looks about like that. That's how I want it to show up on mobile. If you want to preview either one of these, like if you wanted to preview the desktop and the mobile version, what it's actually going to look like on your website, I'll do the desktop version first. So I'm going to click on this desktop item. And as you can see, this part right here, it says unlock. That means if you unlock that and change any of the settings for this on the desktop version, it's going to reset the mobile version back to its default. So don't do that unless you want to redesign the whole mobile part. So I'm going to click preview, and this is going to show us what it's actually going to look like on our website. And my internet's a little bit slow, but there it is. And as you can see, like the background is darker, like we selected. And so this is what it's going to look like on your website. And stick around in just a second. I'm going to actually embed it on my website just to show you. And then I'm going to show you the pop-up aspect to this. So I'm going to just exit out of this. I'm going to go back to the mobile version by clicking that. And then I'm going to click preview. And as you can see, that's what it'll look like on the mobile version. That looks good. So I'm going to exit out of that. And I'm going to just come back to the desktop version. And then I'm going to go to settings. This is where you're going to set the settings to your email list, like what email list is this information going to go to, and what's going to happen after they sign up to this form. So I'm going to click settings, and you'll get this pop up. And here's all the settings. So the form name, just name your form just so you'll know what it is. I'm going to just name this one main form, and then choose the list that you actually want to send, the name, the email, whatever you're collecting on your form to. So I'm going to just leave mine on list 1. As you can see, you can select any of the other email lists that you might have. And then confirmed opt-in. We went over this before, but that's basically where after they sign up for the form, they actually have to click an extra link that comes in their email to actually confirm that they want to sign up to your email list. I recommend just leaving that off and then add to the cycle on day. I'm going to just leave this to day 0. And as you can see, I already have an autoresponder on this list. So when someone signs up to this list on day 0, the autoresponder that's hooked to this list will send them this email along with the PDF attachment. If you want to see that video, you can check my last video. I actually show you how to deliver something like a PDF to someone's email after they sign up for free. So check that out if you want. And then the thank you page is going to be what's going to happen after they sign up to this form. And so if you select these options, you can see there's the option to stay on the current page. There's an option to do default, and then you have custom, which you can put like a external URL. Maybe it's a URL to another page, or like a custom thank you page that you built on your website. So I'm gonna just do the default, which is stay on page. And then already subscribed, I'm gonna just leave that to the default stay on page. You can alter these settings however you want. And then the tracking with custom fields, I don't have any custom fields right now, so I'm gonna just leave that to don't track. And then forward contact data, that has to do with like custom code, so I'm not covering that in this video. I'll just leave that to no. And then I'll scroll back to the top and click save. And now all you have to do is click publish, and that's going to actually publish your form. And then you'll be presented with this page. And basically this is the code that you're going to copy and paste onto your WordPress website or your custom coded website. It doesn't matter. So just leave this first option selected and then just click copy to copy this JavaScript code, and it'll tell you copied down here. So I've already built a page on my WordPress website with Elementor, and I've got this page open. So since this is just a demonstration tutorial, you could add this like wherever you want on a current page. All you have to do is add a new section wherever you want it to go. But I'm going to just make a single section, and this is a very simple page with nothing else on it just to show you. So I'm going to just click plus and select a single section, and then we'll have our single section. I'm going to click this middle thing to give it some margin on the top and bottom. So I'm going to click advanced, and then I'm going to unlink the margin, and then I'll put 50 on the top and 50 on the bottom just to give us some breathing room. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back up here, click the all apps, and then I'm going to search for HTML. I'm going to click and drag this HTML item into the section. And then as you can see, you'll have this box that says HTML code. Since I already copied the JavaScript code from the other Getresponse page, I'll just paste it here. And as you can see, it's actually a pop-up form. I didn't mean to do that, but I'll just show you the pop-up one first since I did that. And then I'll show you how to change it to a regular embedded form. So I'm going to click update. Now, when you do a pop-up form like this, it's not going to matter where you put it on the page as far as the HTML. With the embedded one, it will. You know, the pop-up ones, it just pops up into the middle of the screen regardless of where it's at. It doesn't really matter. So I've updated this page. Now I'm going to go to an incognito window and actually visit the page and see if it pops up. And then we'll sign up to the form, make sure that all the data gets sent to the email list. So I'm going to click new incognito window and I'm going to go to the web address URL. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, there's nothing on here, and there it goes. It pops up. And so that's our pop-up form. I'm going to just fill it out with the test email like so, and then I'm going to click sign up. And it should keep us on the same page after the form's complete, and the form closes out. And then we're still left on the same page like we should be. So I'm going to come back over to Getresponse, and I'm going to click list, just to make sure that it showed up. Then I'm going to click list 1. That's the one we sent it to. And as you can see, the email as well as the name showed up just like expected. So I'm going to show you how to embed this form rather than make it a pop-up form. So what you'll do is go to menu, go back to forms, and then this is the form that we built. So to edit that, you just hover over this menu and then click edit form, and then it's going to load. So in order to edit the mode of the form, if you wanted to change it from a pop-up to an embed or vice versa, just click the back of this form. In fact, you'll have to click unlock, and you might have to modify the mobile version of the form, but it won't take very long. So I'm going to click the very outer part of this form and then click layout. And then I'm going to change the type from popover to embedded like that. And then I'm going to come over to the mobile version. As you can see, it reset it again. So I'm going to just drag this down here and basically set it back to how it was. And then I'm going to come back over to the desktop one, and I'm going to click publish. And then just to be sure, I'll copy the form code again, and I'll come back over here, and then I'll just delete this one, paste that one, click update. And then if you're using a caching plugin and you just change this like this, I suggest purging your cache because sometimes it can get stuck into the other mode. So I'm going to come back over here and click purge cache. That way it clears anything that it might have cached. Now I'm going to come to a new incognito window, go back to the page, and now we're back on the new page. And as you can see, now the form is embedded. So that's going to do it for this one. As you can see, it's really easy to set up custom forms, the HTML forms, where you have thousands and thousands of options that are built by professionals and tested and are high converting, so your users will actually want to sign up to your list and get your free giveaway. If you have any questions about this or have any trouble, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. I'll try to help you out. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.